Sanandadata Korunaika Sindo Bindavanasina Hitavatara Prasida Radha Pranaya Pajara Nama Shishtam Manumapi Sachi Putra Matra Sarupam Rupam Tasyagajamurupuri Matarim Goshtavatim Radha Kundam Girivaram Maho Radhika Madhavasam Prapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Shri Guruntam Natasmi Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghujagoshi Jiva Gopalako Vande Nanta Adbhuteshayam Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhum Nichopi Yat Prasadat Sad Bhakti Shastra Pavartaka Nityanandamaham Nomi Sarvananda Paramparam Harinam Padam Devam Bhavadute Sharominim Nilachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannataya Te Namaha Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Nama Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vrindaye Tulsi Devaya Priyaye Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Pradidevi Satyavajay Namo Nama Pancha Kalpatubhischa Kripa Sindhu Cha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Nitai Gaur Premanande. So I'm very happy to be here with all of you today in another beautiful center of Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON. Thank you also for your wonderful Prabhu. Haribol, you're here. Oh, okay. So nice to see you. Thank you also for your wonderful, enthusiastic greeting when I arrived here today. This is actually meant for Prabhupada, but I'm supposed to be his representative, so I'm obliged to accept, but only on his behalf. So thank you very much. So Mukunda Lila Prabhu has requested that I speak today about steadiness in devotional life. Steadiness in devotional life is not easy. First thing to understand, it's not easy. Because we've been in this material world for millions of lifetimes, doing the same thing. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. As a worm, as a demigod, as a horse, as a Brahmin, as a Shudra, to many species of life. Brahmanda Brahmate Gona Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasadi Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. We've been wandering in the material world, life after life after life, searching for happiness and not finding it. What is the proof we've not found happiness? Here we are again, doing the same thing that we've done before. This was Albert Einstein's definition of insanity. To do something and get a negative result, and then do the same thing again and get the same negative result. And do it again and get the same negative result over and over and over again. We call this sansara. Sansara dhavana lalita lokatanaya gana ganattam praptasya kalyana gunanavasya mande guroshi charanaravinda. So the spiritual master extinguishes the blazing fire of material existence that is characterized by repeated birth and death. So it's not easy to break out. Not easy at all. We have an easy process, but it's not easy to follow. If I say to you, okay, just sit and chant Hare Krishna. Is that difficult? Not difficult at all. But how long can you sit? If I say just sit and fiddle with your mobile phone, surf the net, YouTube, Twitter, WhatsApp, how long can you sit? 4 hours? 5 hours? All day? Yes, true, huh? No problem, because it feels natural to be in Maya. And we think, if I were asked to sit and chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for 4 or 5 hours, great austerity, very difficult thing to do. Why? Because we're conditioned souls. It feels natural to be in Maya. Srila Prabhupada gave a nice example. He said that our body is a product of our mother's body. Correct? Our body is created by our mother's body. So we have a natural affinity for mother. We offer all respect to mother. We bow down, touch mother's feet. We owe so much to mother. We have natural affinity because our bodies are the same, actually. So in the same way, because we're born into the material nature, we're born into Maya, the influence of Prakriti, it feels natural to be in Maya. And Krishna consciousness appears to be a great austerity. Because we're conditioned souls. So it's not easy. It's the most simple process. Kevala ananda kanda. Bhajo bhajo bhai, Chaitanya nitai, sujada vishwas okori. Lochandas Thakur said. Just take this simple thing. Worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu. The result is sure to come. Vishwas okori, with great determination and strength. The result is sure to come. But we have to be patient. Utsahan nischayat dharyat tat tat karma pavartanat. We have to be dharyat, patient. Because you can't snap your fingers. Say, okay, from tomorrow, no more lust, no more anger, no more greed, no more envy, no more fear. I'm just done. From tomorrow. Is it so easy? It is a process. And we call it sadhana. Right? We're all sadhakas. We're engaged in the process of becoming free from the influence of material nature that makes us unsteady. So the process of becoming steady is a process. We take up the process, it begins with Shraddha. Someone invites us to come to the temple. Oh, it sounds like a good idea. Hare Krishna movement. Chanting, dancing, singing, prasadam. Let's go, let's check it out. This is called Shraddha. And from Shraddha we get association of devotees. Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha is very powerful. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastri Hoy, Lavamatta Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Even a moment's association with the pure sadhu can give you a wonderful result that increases your faith in the process of Krishna Bhakti. So from Sadhu Sangha we take up the process Bhajana Kriya. Bhajana Kriya means the process. Rising early, chanting japa, offering bhoga, arati, reading books, serving Vaishnavas, visiting the temple. This is Bhajana Kriya, becoming initiated, accepting bona fide spiritual master. This is all in the category of Bhajana Kriya. And then the real work, next thing, the real work of devotional life begins. We call this Anartha Nivriti. The real work. And if we graph it, you're all educated people. If we make a graph, time and progress, x-axis, y-axis, time and progress, right? When we just first meet the devotees, boom, wow, Hare Krishna, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, so nice, prasadam, boom, we're feeling very enthusiastic. We get initiated, and then, shoo, plateau. You mean I have to give up lust? Yeah, you have to give up lust. Yeshamantgatam papam jananam punya karmanam dvindvandamoha nirmukta bhajante mam jadavrataha. Krishna told Arjuna, Bhagavad Gita. And unless we become free from this addiction to material life, we can't worship Lord with determination, dridavrata. So we practice sadhana. And it's difficult, particularly difficult in this age of Kali, because we're bombarded with the message, go out and enjoy. Especially in India. It's very, you want to know the most disturbing thing? For Videshi Vaishnava, coming to your beautiful country, the most disturbing thing is to see Indian people trashing, throwing away this culture, this Bharatiya Sanskriti, like it was a piece of trash. It's the most valuable thing you can ever do in your life, taking up Krishna consciousness, Bharatiya Sanskriti. It's a natural culture of this, more than any other place in the world. Krishna didn't come, Rama didn't come, Buddha, all avatars didn't come to New York, or Los Angeles, or Paris, or Adelaide. They came here to this country. This is a sacred piece of land. 5th canto, 19th chapter, Srimad Bhagavatam. Page after page, glorifying birth in this country. Not America, not Australia, not Europe. Bharat, this country. So what is painful for us? To come here and see people throwing away this culture like it's a piece of trash. They see you wearing dhoti and think, what's wrong with you? Like a dinosaur. Just out of touch. Who is out of touch? This culture, this dress has served the needs of human society for hundreds of thousands of years. Who is out of touch? This is the effect of Kali Yuga. And what do we see on the movie screens if you go to a movie? Do you see a religious man, a father, a loving husband, working hard to maintain children and wife and home, going to the mandir with a tilak and kantimala? Or do you see a guy that hasn't shaved for 6 months with a black leather jacket, a motorcycle, a gun, he's a criminal, he has 10 girlfriends, and he smokes and drinks? And he's the hero? What does that do to young people's brain? What does that do? This is brainwashing to make people think this is the ideal man, the iconic person, the iconic male. And who is a female? She's got this much of her body showing. She's got 10 boyfriends, and she drinks and she smokes and never goes to the temple. And who are the villains? Who are the rascals? Who are the bad people? People wearing tilak with kantimala, dressed in saffron. The priest, the pandit, the purohit. This is brainwashing in your country. And people don't object. Why don't you object? This is sinful. So is it easy to practice Krishna consciousness in Kali Yuga? It is not easy. It is difficult. So we have to come, after anartha nibriti comes what? Nishta. Nishta is where we begin to get a taste for Krishna consciousness. But it doesn't begin till you become free from anarthas. As long as we're controlled by our own mind. Because mind is where lust lives, where greed lives, where anger lives, where envy lives. It lives in our mind. Mind is the problem. And mind is the solution also. Krishna says, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Fix your mind upon me. Think of me. Become my devotee. Worship me. Do namaskar. Mind is the solution also. But mind is our problem also, because these things live in our mind. And it's not easy to get them out. It's very easy to put them in. To put materialistic thought process, materialistic images in your mind. Because mind is like a library. If you put nice books, if you put Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Upanishads, Ramayana, Mahabharata, big beautiful library full of nectar, then it's there and you can pull it out. So we put Krishna in our mind and Krishna comes out. Nectar in, nectar out, but garbage in and garbage out. If you allow your mind to absorb materialistic sound, materialistic images, then these are the things that will be played back to you. So we put Krishna in. And this helps us to come to the stage of nishtha, of being fixed determined that nothing can deviate me from Krishna Bhakti. Like Haridas Thakur, Nawab Hussain Shah said, you stop this chanting. You're born in a good Muslim family. Why are you taking this Hindu song? You're singing this Hindu song. If you don't stop, we'll kill you. What did Haridas Thakur say? He said, cut my body to 1,000,000 pieces. I don't care. I will not stop chanting Hare Krishna for anything. This is Nishtha, Dradavrata, undeviated devotional service. And we have to come to that stage. But what is the process? We sing in the morning, Nashta prayeshu abhaddeshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Nishta, naishtiki bhakti. How does it happen? What is the verse previous? What is the previous verse? Srimad Bhagavatam. Shrinvatam punya shravana kirtana hridyantastoya bhadrani vidonoti suritsatam. The process is to hear about Krishna. This is the soul, this is the foundation of our progress in spiritual life. How do we become nishtha? How do we become fixed? How do we become undeviated in devotional life? We have to hear about Krishna. Because when we hear about Krishna, when we hear His name, when we hear His Leela, when we associate with His devotees in Kirtan, 3 wonderful things happen. Very first thing, we become knowledgeable. We know something about Krishna. Just pure knowledge, jnana. Like I say, Prabhu, I have a brother. What's his name? What's my brother's name? Why? Why don't you know? Because you haven't heard. What does he look like? Is he an older brother, a younger brother? Is he tall, short, skinny, fat? You don't know because you haven't heard. So if we don't hear about Krishna, we can't know anything about Him. This is pure jnana. But this process of hearing about Krishna has a very special characteristic. That Shindatam Swakata, Krishna's katha. Shindatam Swakata, punya shravana kirtan. It's punya, just hearing. Hridyantasto abhadrani. Our heart is full of unwanted things, abhadrani, that make us unhappy in life. And they are removed by hearing about Krishna. Because this is a special type of hearing. It is spiritual hearing. It is Shabda Brahman. It's not hearing about the weather, or politics, or the war in Ukraine, or your diet, or what the movie stars are wearing or doing or marrying or divorcing. It's about Krishna. We see God. How do you see God? With your eye? Can you see God with your eye? No, He's adhoksaja. Aksaja jnana means what we can know with our eyes. It's night, it's day. There's my friend. We accumulate with our jnana indriyas. Sight is one of our jnana indriyas. But how do we see God? We see God with our ear. We hear about Him. With our ear, when we hear about Him, abhadrani vidunoti suritsatam. Our heart becomes pure. This is the effect of hearing. Very special thing. Just by hearing that sound vibration, like all of you, you could be doing 100 other things. Television is there. Internet is there, friends are there, mobile phone is there, some parties are there, everything. So many things you could be doing. But you've come to hear about Krishna. So my pranam to all of you. Great souls come to hear about Krishna. This hearing, this sound vibration, this Krishna katha, vidunoti suritsatam, abhadrani, it removes lust, greed, anger, fear. The things that give us trouble in life, that make us unhappy in life, are removed by the simple process of hearing about Krishna. Just by hearing. So 2 things. We become knowledgeable, our heart becomes clean, and most important thing, 3rd thing, Krishna Himself helps. He sees my devotee wants me. He wants to be my devotee. Let me help him. It is said that when we take one step towards Krishna, He takes 10 steps towards us. Why? When we hear about Him. Hearing is the foundation of our spiritual life. It's how we become steady in devotional life. Just by hearing. So every day, we should read Prabhupada's books. Read something. Even one shloka. And think of that shloka throughout the day. And control your mind. Always have your mind with Krishna. Because during the day, we waste hours of time. We waste hours of mental energy. Because we don't fill vacant places in our mind with Krishna. A motivational speaker once placed a very large glass jar in front of his audience. And he filled the glass jar with big stones. Then he asked the audience, "Is the jar full?" And everybody said, "Yes, it's full of stones." He said, "No, it's not full." Then what did he do? He put small stones. He poured some small, and the small stones filled up the spaces between the big stones. Then he asked the audience, "Is it full now?" He said, "Yeah, absolutely, it's full. It's full of big stones and full of small stones. It's full." He said, "No, it's not full." Then he took some sand, and he shook some sand down in between the big stones and the small stones. And it completely filled to the top. Sand, big stones, small stones. "Now is it full?" "It's full." He said, "No." What did he do then? He poured some water. Then it's full. So if we examine our life, we'll find many gaps in our mental life. Simple thing, let's say every morning we brush our teeth, right? We put some toothpaste, and we stand there, brushing teeth. Where is your mind? What are you doing with your mind when you're brushing your teeth? What are you doing with your mind when you first get out of bed? Where is your mind? We should be mentally disciplined to bring our mind to Krishna. But what is the problem? Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balavadridam tasyaham nigraham manye vayur eva sudushkaram. Mind is very powerful, obstinate, difficult to control. More difficult to control than the wind. If it's blowing wind outside, can you hold your arms up? Stop. I say stop. Will it stop? It won't stop. Mind is very difficult to control. Krishna says, "Yato yato nischalati manas chanchalam astiram tatastito nayam yahitat atmaneva vashamnaya." To wherever and whatever your mind goes to, drag it and pull it under control of the self. This is called yoga. Yoga doesn't mean just twisting your body, making jnana mudra, sitting padmasana. Oh, now I'm a yogi. No, you're not a yogi. Yoga is 8 Ashtanga Yoga. 8-fold process of yoga. Yoga doesn't mean just asana. That's just a fragment of Patanjali's yoga system. But what is real yoga? Yoginamapi sarvesham madgatinantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yo mam samayukta tamo mataha. Krishna says, someone who worships me with devotion, yukta tamo mataha, I consider that person to be topmost yogi. And how do we worship Krishna? It begins with our mind. It begins with your mind. Not just our body. For example, you can be standing here offering arti to Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra Maharani, Gaurnitai. Ding, 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 ding. And you can be thinking, what's for breakfast? Ding, 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 ding. Isn't it? Where is your mind? Because this worship is the same thing that's going on in the spiritual world. What are the gopis doing? They're fanning Krishna with Shamana. They're offering arti, pancha pradeep with Kharagpur. They're offering chandan with chua. What we're doing here is the same thing they're doing there. And if you have that vision, you're with Krishna, you're in the spiritual world. But if you're thinking, Oh, my business, my bills, my breakfast, my wife, my husband, my this, my that. You're not with Krishna. We're with Krishna by our mind. So Krishna says, yato yato manas chanchalam astiram. Mind is chanchal. Jumps this. One thing to another. And astiram, it doesn't like to stay put. So Krishna says, try to control your mind. Bring your mind to me. Manmana. Give me your mind. Think of me. So this is the process of sadhana. And it is a process. It's not a snap your fingers proposal. And the foundation of the whole process is just to hear. And we do this every day, isn't it? When we sit down to do japa. We're sitting down, okay, it's 3:30, now time to do japa. You pull out your mind, and you think, now I'm going to fix my mind on Krishna. You know, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Mind is dragging you. It's very powerful. Balavadvidham. Very powerful mind. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, in the morning, beat your mind with a stick 100 times. In the evening, beat your mind with shoes 100 times. Rascal mind. Why are you not thinking of Krishna? Rascal mind. Until we overcome the mind, then we're dragged in this material world. Therefore Krishna says, Jitatmana Pashantasya Paramatma Samahita Sitoshna Sakadukeshu Tatamana Pamaneyo. That we have to Jita Atmana, we have to conquer the mind. And what is the result? Wonderful result comes if we simply conquer the mind. Jitatmana Prashantasya. We become happy. We become peaceful. Is there anyone here that wants to become disturbed? Any volunteers? Want to be unhappy? No, you all want to be happy? Don't tell me about Queen Kunti. Everyone wants to be happy. You're going to spoil my rap. We all want to be happy. Anandamayo Vyasat, we're created in the image of God who is always happy. It's our nature. We want to be happy, but we're looking in the wrong place for happiness. We're like a fool who goes to the desert trying to find water. Is the desert the proper place to find water? No, it's a stupid guy. You're going to go looking for water, Rajasthani desert? Come to West Bengal, come to Goa. So much water. Kerala, water everywhere. They get around in a boat. Don't go to Rajasthani desert. We're like the fool who goes to the desert looking for water. So how to become peaceful? Jitatmana Pashantasya Paramatma Samahita. We become connected with the Lord in our own heart. Krishna says, Sarvasya Chaham Hridhi Sanivishtaha. I'm present with your Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hriddesher Janatishtiti. He says, I'm in your heart. And we're ignoring it. Krishna is present with us with every breath, every heartbeat, every lifetime He's with us. But we ignore Krishna. We forget Krishna. So Paramatma Samahita, we reestablish that connection when? Jitatmana, when we control our mind. Jitatmana, Prasantasya Paramatma Sitoshna Sukadukeshu Tatamana Pramanya. Sita and Ushna. Summer, blazing heat of summer, freezing chilly cold of winter, same. If Chitatmana, you conquer your mind. Sukh and Dukh. We all want to be happy. We want to avoid distress. People spend their whole life trying to be happy and avoid distress. For someone who's conquered their mind, same. They say this is life. It's not real life, because real life means leaving this world and going back to God. But material life is characterized with dualities. Dvandva Mohina Bharata. Sometimes we're happy, Oh, I'm so happy. I've got money in my pocket. I'm healthy. Everyone loves me. My kids love me. My wife and husband love me. I'm so happy. And then, boom, something happens. Accident, some loss of money, some disease, diagnosed with disease, deadly disease. Then, oh, I'm so unhappy. This is the nature of this world. Don't forget. A friend of mine, nice devotee, his name is Guru Das. He went with his wife to visit his wife's husband, his wife's father in Los Angeles. They got on the plane, flew off, nice happy birthday ceremony, happy birthday to you, cake and ice cream, balloons, nice family time. Boom! She fell out of the chair. Brain stroke. Hemorrhagic brain stroke. Practically speaking, she died right in front of his eyes. From the happy family time, great happy family time, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, boom! To extreme grief and just in a fraction of a second. This is the nature of this world. Don't forget. This is the nature of the world that we've come to, and we're trying to be happy, where at any moment disaster can strike. Are we not stupid? Are we not foolish? Trying to be happy in a world where at any moment disaster can strike. Even happened to me. I'm living in Mayapur and I thought, I don't want to buy a car, big hassle, I'll buy a scooty. So I got on my scooty. I was just learning to drive. Vroom, vroom, and I crashed. The scooty ran over my leg, tore the whole side of my leg open. I'm thinking, brand new scooty, yeah, let's go. Boom! Accident. Then I think, I'm buying this scooty so I can wreck my leg? No. I'm thinking, I will enjoy, I will be happy. But it's a place of distress also. Dvandva mohena bharata. Krishna told Arjuna, O son of Bharat, this is a place of duality. That mohena bewilders us. We want to be happy, but we're forced to accept distress. So how do we maintain equilibrium? Jitatmana prasantasya. Sitoshna sukudik tata mana pamaneyo. Then we become happy in honor and dishonor. Like if I say, Bharat Prabhu, you're one of the most intelligent devotees I ever met. You're such an amazing devotee, advanced in spiritual life, in love with God. Everyone should do what you live their life like you live your. You think, oh yeah, tell me more, tell me more. Isn't it? But I say, Bharat, how can you be so stupid? I mean, just don't you have a brain, Bharat? You can't talk to me like that, isn't it? Man and apaman, honor and dishonor. We accept as the same if jitatmana, if we conquer our mind. So this is an important thing to do. If we want to be steady in devotional life, we have to conquer our mind. But it all comes back to what? Mantra. Man means the mind. Trayate means to conquer, to overcome the dragging effect, the pushing effect, the powerful effect of the mind by mantra. This is the effect of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare. This is the most auspicious thing. Madaram etan mangalanam sakala nigamavali satpalam chitsarupam sakradapi parigitam shraddhaya helayava Riguvaranaramatyam tarayat Krishna nama. That Krishna nama is the ripened fruit of the entire tree of Vedic wisdom. And even if one chants inattentively, even that inattentive chanting can deliver you from the material world. You'll not get prema, but you can get liberation even by inattentively chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So again, we're back to the process of hearing. Hearing is the process to control the mind. and mind isn't controlled, and we're dragged back into material life. Back away from steady progress in spiritual life. So to be steady in spiritual life, in a nutshell, if we want to encapsulate, if we want to distill everything I said, we can say we become steady in Krishna consciousness by hearing and chanting. Every day. Nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Just by hearing. Shrinvatam svakata Krishna punya shravana kirtana hridyantasto abhadrani vidunoti suritsatam. Our heart becomes pure, clean. We become happy. We go back to God. What to speak of happy? We go back to Godhead. Eternal happiness is available by this simple process of hearing. Pratyaya jayatu vishnam tvetayam yajako makai dvapare parichayayam kalo dadhari kirtana. This is the process of self-realization in Kali Yuga. Hari Kirtan. Hear Krishna's name. Chant Krishna's name. Other processes are not practical in this age. Temple worship, Dwapara Yuga. Yajna, Havan, Treta Yuga. Satya Yuga means meditation. Jnanavastita taggatena manasa pashyantiyam yoginaha. Who can meditate in Kali Yuga? They think now I'm going to meditate. And they sit. Now I'm meditating. Oh, my visit bill. Oh no, I have an appointment. So many things. The phone rings. The doorbell rings. Honey, did you get groceries? So many things come to disturb meditation in Kali Yuga. Meditation is not practical. But there's one amazing thing about this age. This age is said to be ocean of faulty things. But there's one amazing thing, that just by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one is liberated. Shastra says, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Iti sudashakam namnam kalikalmasanasanam nata parataropaya sarva vedeshu drishyate. If you search entire Veda, if it were possible, such an extensive body of literature, the sages and rishis of this tradition, of Bharat, your sages and rishis, have left this tremendous wealth of knowledge. And if you're able to search through everything, you'll not find anything better than this simple thing, these 16 words, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is a statement of Upanishads. So we can encapsulate everything, we can distill it all down. How to be happy, how to be steady in Krishna Bhakti, just by hearing. Every day, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Not, well, I'll do it tomorrow. No, every day we should hear Krishna's holy name. Every day we should read one shloka at least, minimum, Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. And drops of water wear away stone. Anyone been to Rishikesh, Gangotri? Such a beautiful place. In the West, there's incredible prejudice against this beautiful country. Some of the most beautiful landscape on the planet Earth are right here in Bharat. So in Gangotri, you see Ganga Ma is carved through solid stone. Beautiful carving. Someone can think, how does water carve stone? Over time. Over time, with nityam, never stopping, and over time, water carves away stone. So our hearts are like stone. We don't have any feeling for Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I'm a fake devotee. If I had any feeling for Krishna, I would die. Mahaprabhu said. So we're chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. True. Are we guilty? We're all guilty sometimes. Where is our feeling for Krishna? Our hearts are like stone. But nama parada yuktanam nama neva harantyagama vishanti paryuktani tanyavarti karanicha. We chant nama parad. But if we continue chanting we become free from aparad. And in due course of time, after nishta, then ruchi, we get some feeling, awakening of feeling for Krishna, a taste, the nectar of the holy name of Krishna. Then asakti, beginning of loving, a flickering of loving emotion, bhava, and ultimately prema. How? Simply by hearing Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day, without fail. Madhuram Madhuram, Madhuram Madhuram, where is that? I get these two verses mixed up. Madhuram Madhuram ebhyopi, mangalebhyo mangalam, pavanam pavanebhyopi, Haranamaiva kevalam. Chanting Hare Krishna, everything. It's everything. One time, it's a nice story about Srila Prabhupada. We have a godbrother, his name is Guru Gauranga. Very amazing devotee. You know him? He speaks 7 languages. Brilliant devotee. At the time, he was the temple president in Geneva, Switzerland. And he invited the mayor of Geneva, very big man. No one, you just can't walk into his office and say, very big man. So he invited the mayor of Geneva to come have darshan with Srila Prabhupada. So the mayor walks in, he's seated, and Prabhupada says, "So you have any question?" And the mayor said, "No." So Prabhupada took out harmonium and simply sang Hare Krishna Mahamantra. For 20 minutes, he sang Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He folded up the harmonium, put it aside, said, "This is what we do." It's a profound thing. This is what we do. It's the essence of what we do. Chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Every day, Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam. See, the train is also getting into it. It's agreeing. So this is how we become steady. Every day chanting Hare Krishna. Some days you'll pick up your bead bag and you know, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. You're having a hard day. Everyone has a hard day. And someday we're feeling very happy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna. Feeling very happy. This is the nature of this world. Dvandva, Mohina, Bharata. Sometimes happy. What is it? Kabhi Kushi, Kabhi Gam. So this is in spiritual life also. So I'll end there. Anyone has any comment, question? Or if I made any mistake, please correct me. No question? No challenge? You're all brilliant IIT people. The brains of India. Topmost intelligentsia of India. Bharat Prabhu. You speak up. In Bhagavad Gita, we read this, Indriyani param yahur indriyabhya paramana manasustu bharo bodhya yobudhe paratastusa. Krishna explains that above this gross body, I can put this on a scale and say, oh, I've become fat. I can put it on a scale and weigh it. I can quantify it. This is my gross body. Indriyabhya paramana. My indriyas, my senses, jnanendriyas, karmendriyas, I can't quantify. How much does sight weigh? Can you calculate the mass of sight? The weight of taste? It's there, isn't it? Above the senses is the mind. Above the mind, the intellect. Above the intellect is soul proper, Atma. But what happens, because our intelligence is weak, mind grabs intelligence. No, I'm the boss. And intelligence is put aside. And our mind takes over. You want to enjoy. Forget what your intelligence is telling you. Your intelligence will say, you tried this before and it didn't make you happy, but mind is saying, just try it one more time. One more time. And we do it, and we suffer. Because our intelligence has become sublimated by our mind. His mind is very powerful. So one has to strengthen the intelligence. The solution is to strengthen the intelligence. So the intelligence says, my dear mind, shut up, chub kar. Just shut up. I refuse to be dragged by you over and over and over again. Because ultimately the mind is the cause of our perpetual existence in material life. Because of our mind. So Krishna says, intelligence is higher than the mind. Yo buddhe paratastusa. It's higher than the mind. But if the intelligence becomes weak, then the mind takes jurisdiction and drags us over and over again. We have to be completely convinced by our intelligence what is real, what is unreal, what will make me happy, what will make me suffer. And when we're fixed in our consciousness, in our intelligence, then we can push down the mind, say, no more. I'm just done with you. Bhajahure mana Srinandanandana abhaya charanara vindare durlabha manava janama satsange torahoe bhava sindhure. How do we cross the ocean of material existence? Controlling mind. In the association of devotees. When we stay in the association of devotees, we become strong. Become happy. So we fix our mind on Srinandanandana and Abhaya Charanara Vindare. We become fearless in the prosecution of our life in the material world. We simply have to be convinced. Edana Jovana Putra Parijana Ite Kehachi Paratiti Re Kamala Dala Jala Jivana Talamala Bhajahu Haripara Niti Re. We should be convinced. What is the meaning to wealth? Youth, family. They're all Kamala Dala Jala. They're like water on a lotus pad. Very insecure. At any moment the water slides off the pad and into the pond. So, but we think, family can protect me, wealth can protect me, I'll stay young forever. No. No. When we're young, we think like this. You're a young man. I'm 70 years old. My perception, my perspective on life is very different than yours. Very different. Because I'm thinking, okay, I'm 70, maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years. I've lived in Mayapur 4 years. So if I'm living and those 4 years went like that. Time goes so fast. And we only have so much time. Ayur harati vai pumsam ujjannasto chayanaso. With every rising and setting of the sun, the duration of life is taken away. So what do? We hear about Krishna. Shravana kirtanam, smarana vandanam, parasevanam, dasyavre. Pujala sakijana atmanivedana govinda dasa abhilashare. My abhilash, I want to worship you. Haripad. Worship lotus feet of the Lord. This is the solution to the whole problem. Once and for all, make solution to the whole problem. But to do that, we have to give the mind a good smack. No! I'm the boss. You shut up, you've dragged me. Life after life. Sita atapa bhattavareshana edina jamini jagiri. Vipale sevanu kripana durajana chapala sukha labalagri. Chasing chapala sukha. Life after life, struggling, blazing heat, showers of rain, serving useless, miserly persons for what? Chapala sukha. Flickering happiness. This is the whole disease of material life. Whole disease of material life. I'll be happy, but it never made us happy, but still we try. So we have to have conviction. In this lifetime, I'm done with material life. And that comes from our intelligence. Fortified intelligence, fortified by spiritual knowledge. That ultimately brings us to big jnana. There's jnana, knowledge, intelligence, but big jnana means realization. Stita pragyas tadochate. We're fixed in our determination because we experience it. It's like you tell a child, don't touch the flame, you're going to be burned. And a smart kid will say, okay, yes, beta, yes, father, I'll not touch it. A kid that's not quite so sharp says, well, let me see. Oh! He burns his finger. Then he knows. And a stupid kid burns his finger and he goes back and burns his finger again. Maybe it only burns me the first time. Let me try it again. Oh! And he goes, but we're stupid. We're getting burned over and over again, touching the same flame and being burned over and over again. Because we're not using our God-given intelligence. Buddhi buddhipatam tejasvi namaham. Krishna says, I'm the intelligence of an intelligent person. So we should pray for the perspective of the understanding, a big jnana of what is this life. And be determined to break out of samsara. And make this yadgatvani nivartante tadama paramamama. Make this the last life in the material world. Last life. Why do this again? Why do it again? Is that helpful? Did I say anything helpful? Okay. Well, that's my old friend from Kurukshetra. And Rocky. Where else? Rocky and Kurukshetra. Yeah. A very intelligent man. Anything else? Prabhu. Loudly. Why I located to Mayapur? First of all, my good fortune. My good fortune. The best decision I made in my life was joining ISKCON. It horrified my father. I wasn't gentle with my parents. Be gentle with your parents, they love you. But I came home, shaven head, saffron robe, big tilak. Hare Krishna, Dad! Like, what? My father was orthopedic surgeon, highly educated man, big shot in the United States Air Force. He said, what are you doing? What are you, stupid kid, what are you doing? So, in spite of that, joining ISKCON was the best decision of my life. Second best was moving to Mayapur. For a number of reasons. First of all, India is my home. I love this country. In fact, one time I was getting off the plane in Delhi. And the plane's all this, the recycled air, everyone's breathing the same air. It's like, meh. So I got off the plane and the whole experience, the heat, the smell of India, I started crying. I've come back to India. Because this is the most important country in the world. There is no second best to India, Bharat. And to be born here is a reflection of your purva punya, your sukriti, just to be born here. Because the greatest sages and thinkers in the creation taught and lived here and sanctified the dust of this country with their lotus feet. Lord himself comes here. Rama came here, Buddha came here, Krishna came here, Rishabdev came here. Came to this place. Most sanctified, Ganga is here, Jamuna, Godavari, Saraswati, in this place. Not Europe, America? Everything's, oh, America, green card. Oh, let's go to America. $1, 80 rupees. But they go, they don't know. I've seen so many Indian families, they come to America seeking happiness and they suffer like a dog. I visited one man, he lived in a huge house. There's maybe 10 bathrooms in his house. You can get lost in his house. But it's Saturday morning and he's sitting at his computer. He's living in front of his computer. He doesn't have time to get lost in his own house. But why? So he can show his friends, see my house. But what kind of life does he have? And you see people driving to work and they're shaving, electric shaver. Or they're eating, one hand on the steering wheel, they're eating. What kind of life? No peaceful family life? No peace of mind? What, to chase dollars? There's a saying that if you, wherever you go, you take your fortune with you. So if you're meant to have a certain amount of discretionary income, you get it no matter where you live. You get it in India or you get it in America. In Mayapur, my wife goes shopping because she's like this with the sabjiwalas. And she comes back huge. I have to carry the bag up the stairs to my ashram. Big bag, sabji. Papaya, potato, band gobi, full gobi, gajur, aloo. And she spends like 800 rupees. Like in Mayapur, you can buy, in season, you can buy one cauliflower for 10 rupees. You know what it is in America? $3, 250 rupees, one cauliflower. Or mango. Mango is most delicious, top class, delicious mango from Vaikuntha in Mayapur. During mango season, 15 rupees kg. In America, $2, one mango. $2, 150, 160 rupees, 170 for one mango. And it's not even a good mango. They come from Mexico and they're stringing, they're not, it looks like the most beautiful mango, green and red and yellow. Oh, this is going to be so nice. This is material world. It looks so nice. I'm going to enjoy this mango. And you cut it open, it's sour. And it's full of strings. And it cost me $2. India, even from a material point of view, India is such a wonderful place to live. Does it have problems? Of course, everyone has problems. No matter where you go in the world, you'll find problems. But somehow or other, by my good fortune, by the grace of God and Guru, I had the good sense to move to Mayapur. But actually we couldn't decide because we had a good program. We were living in North Carolina, in a farm community, 5-acre farm. 2 houses, we're renting one house, living in one house, growing all our sabji. Just amazing thing. You chop up potato, you put it in the ground in March, and July, you get potatoes. You dig in the dirt, and these big, beautiful potatoes come out of dirt. Food comes from dirt, not from the grocery store, not from sabji mandi. It comes from dirt. And to produce it yourself is the most wonderful experience. So we're growing all our food. We were harvesting 350 kgs of blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, all types of vegetables, fruit trees, flowers, growing. This is a nice life. And every weekend we're going out for preaching. In Bhakti Vriksha groups and in jail groups. But India was calling. So we couldn't decide. Option A is good, option B is good. So what we did, we booked a ticket for India, and before we left, we put the property for sale. Krishna, it's up to you. If the property sells, we have to move to India because now we're homeless. So the property sold, and here we are. Krishna's mercy. I'm very grateful. Sometimes, Prabhu, I'm overwhelmed with gratitude for my life in Krishna consciousness. With devotee friends, prasadam, Harinam Sankirtan, Bhagavatam, Seva. And at the end, Chaktva Deham Punar Janma, no more birth. There's nothing like Krishna Bhakti. Nothing, no such a happy life. Even from material point of view. One of my godbrothers, his name is Badri Narayan Swami. Very brilliant man. He was giving Sunday feast lecture. So he asked, any questions? So one man raises his hand. This is all bogus. Krishna is a fairy tale. There's no future birth. This is all an illusion. Everything's false. You don't know what you're talking about. So instead of getting in an argument, he's a very brilliant man. He says, okay, for the sake of discussion, let's say Krishna is a myth. So it's all a fairy tale. There's no future birth. There's no past birth. This is all illusion. Let's just leave it at that. But I love my life. I associate, my friends are wonderful sattvic people. I eat delicious food prepared with love, not some horrible thing, some dead rear end of a pig from a restaurant, some horrible untouchable food. If you touch it, you need to take a bath. I eat most delicious food. I associate most wonderful people. I'm happy. I'm peaceful. I love my life. And if there's Krishna, I'm going back to Godhead. And you, my friend, are in trouble. So we have such a wonderful life. Krishna Bhakti. It's such a wonderful life. So we came to Mayapur to live this wonderful life. And to try and give back. Because there's nothing that touches my heart more to see amazing young devotees like all of you that have come to hear and serve in Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON society. Are there problems? Sure, there were problems when Prabhupada was here. There'll always be problems. It doesn't stop being the material world because you come to Krishna Bhakti. But it means putting an end to material life once and for all. Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mamiti sojana. Does that answer your question? Yeah, thank you for your question. Make me think of Mayapur. One of our friends, maybe some of you know Gauranga Gopal. Yeah, I think you might know Gauranga Gopal. Gopal Gauranga. He came to me. He was like, "Oh my," because they're living in Jharkhand, I think. "Oh, my wife is crying. She misses Mayapur." I said, "Tell her cry more, because this crying, this vipralamba, this missing Mayapur, missing Krishna's separation, will only increase your bhakti." So I'm feeling happy just remembering Mayapur. Thank you for this question, making me remember Mayapur. Anything else? No challenge? Yes, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisance. I'm not sure I understand your question. Can you repeat it?
I'm saying that if we stick to the instructions of the Lord and spiritual master, stubbornly, there is a chance of when we are dealing with devotees, there is a chance of acting independently. Then how to
That's a tricky question because we should consider our own welfare also. This is called enlightened selfishness. In material life, they're simply selfish. The whole world can go to hell as long as I get what I want. Right? Selfishness, greed. Devotee is selfish, but enlightened selfishness. See, he'll always say, what is the best thing for my spiritual life? What is the best thing for my advancement in spiritual life? What do I need to do to make progress in Krishna consciousness? So sometimes that requires independent thought. And sometimes there's no clear, like I was saying, we couldn't decide what to do. So we put it in front of Krishna. We're happy staying in North Carolina. We're happy moving to India. We're your servant. You move our life as you would, that is pleasing to you. So that's also something that we can do if you can't decide. You can ask another devotee. get advice. Prabhupada told one of my godbrothers, he said, I will come to you in dreams, and I will come to you in the form of another devotee giving you good advice. Your godbrother, your husband, your wife. There's a funny story, actually. They're opening a temple, I think in Sweden. And it was a big function. They're going to install the deities. There's a big initiation ceremony that was going on, and nothing was in place. Prabhupada was saying, there's no fruit even. Where is the fruit? So devotees ran in the kitchen there, they started chopping up fruit, making fruit salad. They come out with fruit salad instead of whole fruits to decorate the yajna kund. And Prabhupada was saying, this is what to do. So he's becoming angry. So one hippie says to Prabhupada, he says, hey man, why don't you just chant Hare Krishna? So Prabhupada says, thank you, Hare Krishna. So we can take advice, any good advice you can take even from a low-class person. Because Krishna may send someone to give you good, and you'll know it when Krishna sends you someone to give you good advice. So, independent, we're never independent actually. We're either dragged by our intelligence, as we were discussing with Bharat Prabhu, or we're dragged by our mind. We should be thoughtful. Devotees should be thoughtful and try and understand what is the best decision for my spiritual life. Or you can think another good way to understand what we should do and what we shouldn't do. Ask yourself, what would Srila Prabhupada do? If he were in this circumstance, what would he do? Or what would I do if Prabhupada was watching me? That's a good one. Okay, Prabhupada's watching me right now. Is he happy with me? Would I do what I'm doing right now in front of Srila Prabhupada? That's meaningful to me. Prabhupada gave me the name Sarvadrik. Sarva means all, and Drik, Drishyate. Sarvadrik means omniscient. Upadrashta, Anumanta, Chara, Bhokta, Bhokta, means omniscient. Means I should always be thinking, Krishna is watching. I can fool you, right? I can't fool Krishna. I can hide my Maya from you, but I can't hide it from Krishna. So I should always think, Krishna is watching me. I'm always in front of my Guru. So I don't want to make any independent decision that will compromise my spiritual life. Is it okay? ठीक है. ठीक. Say ठीक. Are we done? हो गया? Any other thing? Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Iskan Kharagpur ki jai. No, Kharagpur. Iskan Kharagpur ki jai. Not Kharagpur. That's in Mumbai. Is it? That's in Mumbai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.